Wait, what did I say last time?
Fantastic start.
Ladies, gentlemen, and all other gender-specific pronouns, this is Two in the Bush, your weekly podcast for nothing of substantial note, really. It's just us talking. I am the ginger one that nobody cares about, Shaun Howe, and I am joined, as ever, by Timothy Broad.
And I have a cup of tea.
He does. He was lying last week, but he actually has it on this week because that almost makes up for it.
No, but tell you what.
Actually, on that note, Tim,
Yeah.
if we're going for things that are referencing the early bits of last week's podcast,
Go on then.
what was the Microsoft weather like today?
Well, according to the Microsoft weather today, it was mostly cloudy, but with still sun. What does it look like, Shaun?
It looks mostly cloudy with a bit of sun.
Wait, is it correct?
Oh my God. I mean, well, we all know why this has happened.
What's happened?
Well, Bill Gates, he clearly listens to this podcast. I mean, you know, it's
Of course.
because you get the most intelligent people listening to this show.
He's constantly, furiously refreshing the page.
Yes, to
and
get us more
waiting
views.
for the new podcast. to
Yes,
come out.
he's sitting there, probably with a stack of cash in his hand,
Yeah.
and he heard our criticism and he thought, right, we need to improve our systems here. So what I reckon they've done is they have gone from just a bloke who's sticks his head out the window once a day
Yeah.
to two blokes
Oh,
who stick their head out the window.
what, in the
once a
same
day.
office?
No, I don't think it's in the same office.
Okay.
I think like say the Microsoft one in the UK is in Slough
Yeah.
or somewhere, and I reckon.
How near is that Hastings?
Pardon?
How near is that to Hastings?
Not very.
Okay, so
It's kind of Midlands.
Okay, so he's in the Midlands, so nowhere near from Hastings. Okay, where's the other one then?
I
closer?
reckon it's in Perth.
Right, okay.
Not Perth is in Scotland. I mean
No.
Perth is in Australia.
Ah! Okay. How's that
So-
going to help?
Well, I reckon what they'll do is because they're near enough, almost complete opposite sides of the Earth.
Oh.
They'll both stick their heads out the window and then take.
Are they taking an
an
average?
average.
The only problem is, are they going to... The only flaw with that is, the only problem is that the version in Australia, it's not going to say mostly cloudy with sun, it's going to be saying mostly cloudy
With
with a moon.
a moon.
It's going to be the middle of
I
the
quite, I
night.
quite like the idea of if it's a completely clear day, the icon is going to be half sun, half moon.
Ah, but here's a thought though. If it is an average, it's about midday at the moment, isn't it? Or it's 3 o'clock, coming out to 4.
About midday.
You know what? Maybe they're not that bad.
Maybe.
So, well done, Bill Gates.
Well done, and please carry on listening to our podcast.
Thank you. And
In fact,
please sponsor us with that money.
we'll set up a Patreon specifically so you can donate.
The Bill Gates, he could be the third man in the bush.
And we got a special guest this week.
Inside the foliage,
Inside the foliage.
Bill Gates.
Well, Mr. Gates, welcome to the bush. But it's not a bush. That was my attempt at an American accent.
It was pretty horrific. Don't do it again.
Thank you.
How dare you?
I mean, didn't we say last week that you'd walk out if I did an American accent?
The thing is, it was so bad, I don't think it really counts as one. I'm sorry, it wasn't that bad.
So what sort of accent would that count as? Would it be like somebody from another country who's only really listened to American media, whose English isn't their native language?
No, I just think...
So they end up kind of sounding weirdly American, but not quite.
I think it's the language of the traitors.
Language of the ancients.
We don't forget the 4th of July.
Yes, we definitely do.
Oh,
In Britain, we definitely do.
Anyway,
No, wait, Tim,
yes.
this is not a forced segue at all. But
No.
what did you do this week?
Well, thanks for asking, Shaun.
I'm mainly asking because I didn't do much myself.
Okay, well, would you like to know what I did then?
Yes, because we
I
need content.
went to the Brighton Pride Festival.
Wow!
Wow. Oh, oh my. No, we can't do offensive things.
Oh my god!
Because we'll just get shouted at by many angry people. So, anyway.
Which last week didn't help we angered, well, maybe not those specific people, but just...
So to the one viewer we haven't offended.
Yes.
Here is the story of my first Pride Festival.
Tim goes to Pride.
Tim goes to Pride. So
Next year it's Tim goes to Hollywood.
So initially I didn't really want to go all that much. I didn't want to, last time they wanted the group of friends I normally go with, I normally hang around with is 3 of them, They wanted me to join them, and last year I didn't. I wasn't very. I'm going to be honest. I wasn't comfortable enough. I feel like I would find it very awkward. I think I would have. I was very. Yeah, I'm not against it. I just personally, I was like quite a quiet.
Quite quiet.
A supporter.
Like,
yes, you know, I'm not one who just wants, go out and celebrate it, loudly and just. Yeah. That's just not how I do things. But this year I thought
you're a subtle man.
I'm a subtle. But this time I thought I'll go for it. And so I go for it. And now they thought the brilliant idea of going camping.
To use a joke that I made, quite frankly, too many times up to the lead up to this event.
Yeah.
It's camp camping.
Camp camping, indeed.
Ha!
Funny.
Yeah.
And also probably offensive. So
well, that is offensive.
There's somebody we've offended. So, anyway.
It's a silly joke, mate.
So, anyway.
Quite frankly, if somebody's offended by that, then that's not our problem.
I know. I'm kind of slightly bigging myself up here. I used to do Cub Scouts and Explorers. I was part of the scouting movement.
Wow, he was an explorer.
So
explorer of his young sexuality.
No, it's more of the classical sense of.
Did the other scouts have to do this, leader? I don't know what. I'm not gonna know what you.
No, they're called the Rainbows.
Rain. Is that true?
There is a branch of.
Oh my god!
The Rainbows. It's like the young children.
That's amazing.
So anyway,
please tell me the Rainbows went to Pride. Please.
No idea. I think the Rainbows are like 5, 6, 7. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll just say, as I did all the scouting stuff, I was relatively prepared for this. I know
because what's that infamous scout motto?
Be prepared.
I was going to say, don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck up. When in doubt, just go to the pub.
And leave the
tent outside. Just forget about it.
Drink your lack of preparedness away. Preparation.
I just basically, pretty much. We learned from camping that there are different challenges. Like one of them apparently is to light a campfire using like 2 matches. You have 2 matches to do it, and other than you're fucked, and you're gonna have to try to rub 2 sticks together.
Okay.
And pretty much the reality was just buy a camping stove.
I have a question.
Go on then.
Surely, instead of saying, now, if you're a bit caught and you don't have anything like that, to light a fire, you use 2 matches and rub them together.
Yeah.
Surely, the more logical thing to do would be to say, if you don't have a lighter or anything, the way that you start a fire is you use a match and the box it came with.
I think that's too easy, though.
What? So do you think there's like you can do that if you're a wuss?
If you're a wuss, well, pretty much they just give you 2 matches. They're like the matches that in the past you could light on anything.
Yeah.
Like, so you can light it.
Like on another match, for example.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that's the challenge. That's the point. But anyway, if we learned that.
Do you reckon you could light a match on a propane stove?
That's a terrible idea. No. Actually, no, that's probably quite a good idea. The only thing is, anyway, as you were saying, like we had, I've told a little about the story. So on the day we bought a propane stove. Of course, I have the rest of my camping gear.
Yes.
Strictly, I bought.
And then your friends have their camp gear.
Yes, they have all their camp gear. Now, I was told that there'll be 5 of us. That's fine. Yeah. And my friend said he had a 3-man tent.
So you naturally bought a 2-man tent.
A 2-man tent. It's less weight for me.
Yes.
And it means that you can fit.
But may as well say you have 3 friends that you normally hang out with, but there was somebody else there. Hence the reason it was 5.
Exactly. So
he's not just really bad at maths.
No, I'm not.
Well, I mean, he is, but we covered that last podcast.
We covered that last podcast. So anyway, so I said, okay, bring this tent. Don't need it any bigger. Don't need a big tent. Anyway, so we get to the campsite after a pretty good train journey. I'm surprised. Normally, the train line that is called Southern Railway, not a sponsor. I hope for
really
God
not.
They never sponsor us. They need to put their money somewhere else,
like making the trains run.
Right. So, but surprisingly, the trains were okay. So, of course, it's probably gonna be a very busy weekend in Brighton, but yeah, there was hardly any traffic. It was wasn't a very busy train, and the bus journey up to the campsite was fine. Now, I didn't actually know what to expect
from your campsite.
From this campsite. I thought, well, normally we camped in a forest or a designed proper campsite.
Yeah.
No, this campsite was just an ex-farm. Farmland.
Formerly a farm, so it's quite. You'd assume it's quite flat, wouldn't you?
It's on a hill. But I mean, it's not bumpy. It's like a very smooth. It's like a long.
How big is this hill?
very big,
Oh,
very tall.
very tall.
So we're just outside of
So
Brighton.
you're in a hill,
on a hill.
basically just outside a seaside town.
Yes. So
I'm going to imagine
yes,
the wind picked up a little bit.
it did. To the point where we weren't trying to pitch up a 2-man tent. We were trying to pitch up a 2-man parachute, and it was a nightmare.
It's not one of those parachutes you get on the end of those fuel tanks of space shuttles.
Foolishly, despite my be prepared motto, I'd never put up this tent. I'd never seen this tent.
Well, in fairness, you bought it the other day.
Yes,
So.
and so I had no idea it was going to be trying to build like a space station. It was incredible.
I mean, there was enough wind to actually put it into orbit, I imagine.
It was unnecessary. Probably it was unnecessarily complicated. It took hours to do. Well, it took about an hour to do. An hour to do.
How long did it say it was going to take?
Oh, talking with it said it would take 10 minutes.
10
Two
minutes?
people, 10 minutes. It took 4 people an hour. Now
That's grossly
and that's not a case of
underestimated.
too many chefs spoil the brew.
Yes.
Ruin the brew.
The broth.
The broth. Sorry, it
You're
was
just thinking of
close.
brew because you've got a cup of tea in your hand.
Yes, I know. My tea is. Oh, it's just a great tea. Anyway, eventually we did part, but the problem, we came across one was the wind trying to take our tent away and
Yes.
send it across to the next county.
Well, I was going to say next country.
Probably even the next country.
You're probably closer to France than Kent.
Do you know what? It's probably closer to France than it is London. I honestly probably about a similar distance.
I'm going to try and look this up.
While
Hold on.
he googles that,
Carry on.
Yeah, as I was saying, so we also had the problem that where the select area we built our tent on this field was an ex-Roman road.
Oh.
So and we were told this when we were pitching our tent. Some of this is protected area.
Yes.
It was fine where we were putting it. It wasn't actually a substantial building. It was just a road, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it turns out that tent pegs are normally meant to go fully into the ground. We can only get them about 2 inches or about, is that 6 centimetres maybe?
About that.
About 6 centimetres into the ground. So no way could this support a tent, keep this tent down. And so I had to spend about an hour just trying to hammer these tent pegs, ruin them all. But we managed to get this tent in eventually.
You essentially kept the tent in because you'd split up the peg so much there was more surface area. So
I
it's
pretty
harder
much,
to take them up.
dismantled a Roman road to put down a tent.
Than a tent.
And so in the end, and now talking...
that would have made a very interesting episode of Time Team. Time Team goes to Pride.
I can't remember any of the presenters. I just remember there being this really big fat Yorkshireman. Imagine him going to Pride trying to fit in a 2-man tent. That tea would not fit in a 2-man tent.
Probably wouldn't fit in a 3-man tent.
No.
Which actually links in later to the story.
No,
because you told me this a bit earlier,
So,
to be honest. But
I said there were 5 of us. I was informed that my friend's tent was 3-man. It was 3-man if everybody didn't have any camping equipment apart from a sleeping bag and the sleeping mat.
so it was a free homeless man tent.
3 homeless men tent. Homeless men, and so
Men
in
tent.
reality, it was a 2-man tent. It could only fit 2 people with stuff, and so in the end, one of them had to stay in our tent. But of course, he could.
Oh, by the way, quick update.
Yes.
Looking at the just from eyes level, if you go straight south from Brighton, it's probably a lot further than going to London.
Oh, really?
Because the way the geography works means that as France the coastline of France basically ends up going south.
Ah.
So instead of being say between Dover and Calais, it's about 20 miles.
Yeah.
This looks a bit more like 80.
80. So you're saying, okay, I was wrong, but
Weirdly, it's almost perfectly in line with the French town of Le Havre.
never been there. Don't know what's significant about it. I'm sorry.
I know that there was a football player who won the Premier League Player of the Year who started his career at Le Havre. But that's it.
We're gonna
You
be
don't
off
care
topic,
about that? Yes.
So,
yes.
Anyway, it turns out that one of them had to stay in our tent. Now, of course, my tent is only 2-man, and it is definitely 2-man, but it has a lot of generous storage. So basically, my friend is a stowaway in this storage / kind of foyer area of my tent. Now, that's fine. There is enough room for him, but of course, that section doesn't have a net.
Wait, Tim, you've got it mixed up. It wasn't your tent.
My tent, yeah.
No, because that was the 2-man tent which had plenty of room.
No, my tent. I'm saying this is where my friend has gone into my tent. is now into our tent.
Oh, he's in your tent. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought he was in the Tricky Three-Men tent.
No,
Like they persisted.
No, they didn't persist. They went into my tent.
Oh.
And so they ended up being in the foyer area of my tent, which has quite a lot of, like, half the tent is, like, sleeping area.
Yeah.
Half is storage / kind of the foyer door area. And so, basically, he ends up trying to weave himself in between all the, like, the food and the luggage and the camping equipment.
Yeah.
And so, and of course, as I said, he doesn't have a bug net. So he's probably going to get attacked by spiders. And within 10 minutes of putting up the tent, finally getting down after an hour, spiders were already trying to find a new home. And they were pretty generous.
Now, this friend of yours,
Yes.
who I know,
Yes.
I imagine he was the one who slept in with your tent.
Yes.
From memory, he's not the best with spiders.
No, and so pretty much we had
He
to
spent
try.
the whole night screaming.
No. he actually.
Just trying to get to sleep.
he- So that's probably going to come out with quite a loud spike on the SoundCloud audio thingy.
The thing. Oh,
Anyway,
well, I can fix that.
It's fine. So anyway, he actually sleeps pretty well. Apparently, he can just sleep, but he wasn't
Even with spiders on his head.
even with spiders. But yeah, that was the thing. We had to constantly just get rid of spiders because they were just everywhere. I don't know why. But in the end, okay. So and then, yeah, that's generally the camping experience. And we left the cooking to my another friend.
Yes.
Who's actually quite. He's actually turned out to be quite. He just naturally was good at cooking with the very limited equipment we had.
Yeah.
And
What was it that you ate?
oh, just sausages.
Oh, how very appropriate.
So I just had, of course. So I had just because I'm vegetarian. I had just vegetarian sausages. They cooked mine first and an egg, which was raw. Basically, it was very hard to.
They basically just gave it. They just gave you an egg. They didn't even bother putting it on the pan. Just have this.
And it was fine. But eventually, as I said, he got better. And honestly, I cannot thank him enough because pretty much without him, the whole thing wouldn't have happened. And with me, it wouldn't have. It was very much like
It was you two had that collaborative effort to get it all off the ground.
He cooked. He established.
And you paid for everything.
And I paid for everything. Got us to the campsite. Organised the trains there and back and stuff. But yeah. So
how was your the general experience of Pride?
it was okay. I wouldn't say it was amazing. I mean, I guess maybe that's just for who I am. I'm just not, as I said, I don't know if I said it in this one. Well, yeah, I did. I said I'm quite, quite quiet. Celebrate.
Yeah, you're subtle.
Yeah, I'm subtle. I mean, I support it, but I'm not necessarily like a big, spokesperson level.
No,
and I'm not a big fan of shouting. And so
you're not going to partner Stephen Fry in a debate about this sort of thing.
No, exactly. But yeah, it was okay. It was kind of like any other kind of parade, obviously with a kind of the Pride theme.
Yeah. A lot of colours.
A lot of colours, and also a lot of naked people.
Really?
Well, not completely naked, but there was this, just naked. There was.
I'm waiting to hear what the gender is, because I mean, quite frankly, it could be anything.
Yeah, well, yeah, there was a few trans. It was fine. I mean, I wasn't like anything that would be. This time last year, I would have found it a bit too much.
But you've grown as a person.
I've grown as a person and just mature. I guess I'd say it's mature and gotten over just it's fine now. So it was okay. I enjoyed it. It was a very happy atmosphere. It was very cramped. There were certain areas that are very cramped, and there were people that had perfect balcony views, of course, which is fantastic on the main street where the parade's going to have balcony views. And there were some women who would just every so often would just show their breasts to people, and of course there are some crowds forming around these people.
I mean, fair enough.
That kind of stopped people.
Dare I ask what? Given that it's gay pride, dare I ask whether the crowd was mostly male or female?
You know what? I think it's no things so. The friend who was cooking, I could say he's gay. So that's part of that's a huge reason why he wants to do, of course, go
obviously.
But it was about 50-50, I'd say.
Oh.
I think it's because it's the reason.
A lot of allies there.
And the reason why is because, and he said he doesn't like it when people call it gay pride, because it's not just about being gay.
That is fair.
It's very much now become like kind of almost, I guess, the next kind of civil rights movement-esque, where like
I suppose.
it's designed to just cater for anyone. Just say,
Yeah.
we've been talking about this for a long time now.
Actually, well if you're talking about this for once, I do actually want to say something very quickly about it.
Sure, I mean, I can wrap it up.
But I'm going to use this to wrap it up.
Go on then.
Because now, I had a chat with my dad about Pride. Because I told him that you were going and he was very interested in this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason is he is part of that community.
Yeah.
I'm
Don't need to say which part.
Not going to reveal which part. You can speculate for yourself.
Yeah, go on then.
But he told me that, especially on his friends list on Facebook, he found a couple of more what's the best term? More experienced to this sort of thing.
Yes.
Doing it before it was the juggernaut of an event that it is today.
Yes.
And then apparently he's seen people on Facebook who are going, "Oh, I don't like the Pride anymore." But it had different ways of saying it, but they're essentially saying it's got too mainstream. Now, forgive me.
Doesn't that sound hypocritical?
Yes, because surely the point of doing gay pride is to say
it's just pride.
Pride.
It's made, the point
It started off as gay pride.
Yeah, but now it's just known as pride now. Yeah.
The whole point of doing pride was to say you don't need to hide it. You can be proud of who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
So surely, if it is quotes mainstream,
Yes.
then it's succeeding.
And it has very much as it's like, so many people from all like branches, like not just necessarily of the classic LGBT, but like, there were where we'd situated to watch the crowd go by. There was actually a church on the other side. Okay.
Oh.
A Christian church, and they explicitly had all these things just saying, things like they had this post that's saying, "These are the gays that God has made." Basically saying God has made, if God truly makes people in His image or whatever, or I think that's the point they're saying.
Oh yeah. So these were pro.
Yeah, these were
Okay.
pro, and
I'll be honest. I was a little bit worried because I greeted you and think of there's a church here rather positively, and I was really worried that it was just going to end up being something like God hates.
No, it really helped me personally break my worries of it being it too much. It was very so people being.
I mean, I'll be honest. In fairness, if there's one, there are pride events all over the place these days. If there's going to be one place where there isn't going to be opposition, it's going to be Pride.
Yeah, exactly. And so, just say, would I go? Would I go again? I'm not sure. I think not.
What we'll do, maybe what will end up happening is maybe next year you would have done, and we'll do this conversation next year on the podcast.
And then, I was actually part of the parade.
This time I was on one of the what's his face,
the back of the trucks.
Yeah. I was joined by several Brazilian girls. Well, I think they were.
All right, yeah. I guess that's a good place to close it. The one thing I'd like to say is, of course, people obviously, nobody on the internet really knows who I am. One thing I'm known for being is very trying to bunch in as many things as I possibly can with my time. So after camping for 2 days, with very little sleep and a lot of walking and a lot of exercise, guess what I wanted to do straight after Pride?
Go to work.
I went to work, and though work had...
Didn't you have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning?
I woke up at 7 o'clock. We had to get everything packed up in an hour and a half. Got a taxi back to the train station. From the train station back to Hastings, and then I managed to get to work on time. I managed to just quickly shove my head under the sink and just wash my hair, get rid of all the grease and the glitter and whatever else in my hair.
Glitter?
Was
there a lot of glitter?
Probably because there was just glitter bombs everywhere. And
glitter bombs?
Well, people just like...
I don't know if they sound really good or really intimidating. It's like the worst shrapnel ever. It's like a glitter frag or something.
Oh, God. I managed to get to work on time, and then after work, I was absolutely shattered, and I had a good solid 12 hours sleep. And anyway, with that...
Now, with your story done, we shall move on. And finally start the first segment.
Proper segment. Oh, what did you do in the week, I guess?
Well, I'll be honest, I didn't do much.
Well, you edited the first podcast.
Well, yes, I did, and I put it out. And you can...
And you can now find it now.
You can find it now on SoundCloud and YouTube, and hopefully soon enough on iTunes and Stitcher.
At SoundCloud to the Bush. That is SoundCloud to the Bush.
SoundCloud.com/2 in the bush, all words.
Watch it now. Sponsored later.
I mean, there's no. I'm just honest. There's no point really plugging it because they're already listening to this.
Well, the one person is still watching. For those, tell you what, it's interesting. We're from a very borderline offensive episode to catering to
This is
the minorities.
This is. I had it in my head.
I don't know, but that's kind of
this is the Cosmopolitan special.
Yeah, so I guess not there.
Is it Cosmopolitan? I don't know.
I guess I can show you in the next episode. Things will return to their normal shoddy.
Well, the thing is that we don't know which is normal.
We have no idea. This is a very early show. This is your show.
Next week we could just go. Next week we could. You could have gone to a cake. No, I was going to say you could have gone to a KKK march, but no,
no.
Given the Corbyn comments last episode, they would definitely not go in there.
Right.
Anyway,
so let's get to the first segment.
We like to call attempts to be interesting.
Okay.
So, says what it is really. We try and look up something in however much time we have, and try and find something interesting.
Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll let you start.
Okay,
I started last time. I'll let you start.
And you've been talking for that had a majority of this podcast.
So you have
I found.
Go to town on this.
No, go to town. Right, I'm gonna have to go to Hastings Town Centre.
Brilliant.
Now, anyway, as you may know, I'm currently without a job.
Well, I don't know. I know, they don't.
Actually, funnily enough, I do have a job interview tomorrow, but that's besides the point.
You do? You haven't told me this.
I tried to, but you didn't listen.
Did you? When did you do that? Oh, right, I didn't listen. Fair enough. Okay, but now we're here.
But anyway.
Part of this is we update ourselves.
Trust me, this is a link.
Okay, go on.
Because, as it happened, I happened to find there was quite a interesting job placement being advertised.
Mm-hmm.
And the role was the Planetary Protection Officer.
Right. Is this actually the role that you're applying for?
No, it's not.
I was about to say, I'm thinking...
This is something from NASA. It's
obviously
an American
NASA.
thing.
Wow.
No, I'm not.
You put your stakes on, you've got a high bar. Very high bar.
It's going to be quite a commute. Going up to... No, it's International Space Station.
No, right, sorry.
No, it's not actually. I was just saying that's where my commute would be. Sorry, guys. Can I get the Can you chuck me in the shuttle early today? I've got to pick the kids up.
Sorry, it's sponsored by Southern Railway. It's all on strike.
What Southern space travel?
Anyway, sorry.
But anyway,
yeah.
Generally, there has been NASA have placed an advert for a planetary protection officer.
Uh-huh.
Now, apparently, it's open to the public. So hypothetically, any old bloke could go and work for NASA, and it's quite a hefty salary.
How much?
I think it was like up to 180k a year. So it's quite a lot. But funnily enough, they've got something else to do with money in the segment after this. So perhaps instead of being the Cosmopolitan special, it can be the Capitalism special.
Go on then.
But anyway, now when you say planetary protection officer, it sounds like quite a grandiose role.
Well, it sounds like
and you're getting paid a lot. You think, oh, what do you do?
Yeah.
Well, it's essentially sterilising half the people who've come from space. So essentially, you're wiping Dettol on a surface. You get paid 180 grand
so you
to do that.
So you're saying you work in those chambers that they just spray people with? I'm guessing.
Pretty much, I'd imagine. Well, the thing is, no, he's probably like the boss of all those and making sure everything goes through fine.
Yeah.
But I've got a question.
Go on then.
If there is alien contact, would they have to negotiate with the bloke with essentially a bacteria-killing spray in his hand?
Yeah.
And also, what sort of spray do they use? Because kills 99.9% of all bacteria unless they're from space.
All earthbound bacteria.
Well, actually, no. If he was debating with trying to force contact with aliens, probably wouldn't be good to have him there, actually, because then he'd be having a bottle in his hand that says kills 99% of all aliens. They might send off the wrong message. It's very, very unlikely you're going to get a optimistic alien going, maybe I'm the 0.1%. But
which is, I think, what just say in intro very quickly. What is the job you're applying for? Or
I'm not going to tell you that.
Why not?
Because the podcast people don't need to know. It's my job.
But I want to know.
If you must know, it's putting leaflets through doors, but
Fair enough.
for a pizza place. But yeah,
That's fine.
yeah.
I don't like
But
pizza.
anyway,
I like
I mean,
pizza.
in hindsight, I probably should have applied for the NASA job.
Well, maybe not.
But you know,
Sounds equally difficult.
yeah. I mean, but yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? When you think about it.
Well, how much they get paid?
Well, actually, yeah, I suppose because it's just give me my money.
We'll just say.
And also, there aren't many people coming back from space very often.
Mm-hmm.
Most satellites they take out there to stay there, so that's quite good pay.
It's quite. Talking of which, though, just say the Prime Minister or the Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister, who we shall not make any political comments about.
No, Corbyn. So
We both did that at the same time. I don't know if you noticed.
I'm not sure. I can't remember what it was, but I don't think the Prime Minister actually gets paid all that much. Like you think it'd be millions, but it really isn't.
Well, I
sounds
think
like-
it's basically just to pay for MPs, but just a bit more.
it's
Because
very-
at the end of the day, the main job they have as MPs just so happens they're the leader of the party and they get to choose.
It's
make all
it's
decisions.
not that much. So it's probably, it might even be a similar amount as
It might be less.
spraying Dettol on an
I
alien.
mean, I tell you what, which I'd rather do.
You know,
But yeah. Also,
Deliberately.
I have also got something else on here,
go on then.
which is completely different, and I just found this, and I think there's no other segment which can really put this in, so I'm just going to put it in. It's quite a departure. So we're in Holland,
Holland.
not America. It's not Houston. We're in Holland.
Okay.
A man gets pulled over in his car,
Yeah.
and by the police, and they discover that he's under the influence of alcohol.
Yeah.
His driving license is invalid.
Okay.
The car is not insured.
Right.
However, you might think, oh, this is normal. But those aren't the reasons why this man is pulled over. The reason the man was pulled over,
Yeah.
because he had stolen 2 lampposts and had tied them to the roof of his car.
Right. Okay.
So, I mean, first of all, you're not going to be stealthy with that, are you?
Well, pretty much you've just added 2 extra lights to your car.
No, well, you're suggesting that he thought, right, it's going to be really dark today, I know what to do.
And I'm going to turn off the lights on my car and just nick these lampposts. Oh shit, I'm lit up again.
But the thing is, the way he had them, he'd probably just light up his own face. And, but you know what the best thing is?
Go on.
It isn't a big car that he's using.
What's he
It's
using?
like a Renault Clio.
How did he strap them to the car?
My question is, how did he get them out of the bloody ground?
No, I'm
How
interested.
did this man do this?
He must. What I'm interested in is how do you reckon he put them on the car? Do you reckon he put them lengthways or widthways? So he could take out?
There was a picture, he put them on lengthways to the way the car's going.
Right, because I was thinking if you put them like
Widthways, that's gonna blast everyone out of the way.
That's the thing. You could take out the police who are trying to follow
You probably end up catching like hundreds of cars and like the central reservation on the motorway. And
But apparently, if this Renault Clio can carry these 2 lampposts, it probably could take out the rest of the opposite end of the opposite side of the street.
yeah, I mean, actually, I've just had an idea.
Go on.
Employ the bloke who stole the lamppost as
Yeah.
the planetary protection officer.
There we go.
There you go. I mean, he quite clearly.
So okay,
And actually, that does remind me
Yeah.
of talking about the lampposts.
yeah,
There was once, I think it was in Denmark. It's not very far away.
no.
Who stole a bridge?
How can you steal a bridge?
They went in there and they said, well, the bridge is going to be demolished.
Yeah,
And they had some people come in and say, oh yeah, we're going to demolish it, and they found all that.
yeah.
And they weren't the licensed people. They just got enough stuff to demolish it and sold all the raw materials.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Credit
pretty-
to them.
Do you know? And they had
Actually, if we're on the note, I've got several stealing stories.
I just want to ask. So, what happened to the man in Holland? Who?
Well, he's been put under arrest, obviously. He's quite clearly a madman. But actually, do you want to know, I think we can just call this stealing. This attempt to steal.
Yeah.
Rather than an attempt to be interesting. Do you know what the largest bank robbery in China's history was?
Go on.
Well, a man had, I think he'd taken 28,000 Chinese dollars or whatever, yen or whatever the currency is. I don't know what the currency is. I should be more prepared. From a bank. Now, you think, oh, we've done that. What did he do with the money?
Mm-hmm.
What he did is he bought lottery tickets. So he
what-
could
sorry.
so he could win enough of a fee to return the £26,000 that he'd stolen and hope nobody'd notice.
So he'd stolen 26,000.
Thousand. Then he bought as
That
many
many
lottery
lottery
tickets as he could.
tickets.
Don't know how much they cost.
So, and then return the money.
And then he thought, I've got so many lottery tickets, I'll win the prize and then return the money to the bank.
Return that amount of money and put it. That sounds like a really clever idea.
Apparently it worked.
Did it?
The first time he tried it. Because then he tried it again.
And then what? Did he not win?
No. And this time he stole a lot more. And he didn't win.
How much did he steal?
I think it was like millions or something.
And he didn't win.
Yeah.
He should have just. Do you know what? If I were him, I would have just. Well, if I were him, I wouldn't do it. If I wouldn't do it. But
Because you're the moral compass of this podcast.
Arguably, but I would have done it once, and then gone, "Wow, I did it." Never do it again. Because I mean, this. When did this happen? Do you remember?
It's quite recent, I think. I think it was
Because I'm
like
just
2008.
thinking, with how secure these kind of things are, not well, clearly it's not that secure if he managed to pull it off. But surely they'd catch on or think, "Oh, it's a money glitch or whatever," and nobody would notice.
Yeah.
But to do it again.
Yeah.
Literally, it's gambling.
Apparently, the second time he tried it, they stole the money and then he didn't win anything. So in a panic, they stole more money to try and get more tickets. And then from the money that they stole, they was able to put back £14,000 or yen or whatever the currency is.
But then it's still lost.
Dollars. Yeah. So yeah, and I believe he did get caught. I imagine he would be, but. Yeah, that turned from talking contact with aliens to people stealing ridiculous stuff.
I mean,
so that's.
Can I have a go at my attempt to be interesting?
Of course you can.
Well, I'm going to attempt to be interesting.
Branding.
Well, already we know that I'm not a huge fan of some of the Windows.
Windows products. Yes.
So,
I mean, I feel like if Bill Gates really is listening, we should probably tone this down.
Well, no. I mean, well, tell you what, do you know who owns SoundCloud?
SoundCloud.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or do they own themselves? They haven't been bought out.
Probably own themselves. I don't know.
So if they have been bought
We're not going to
by
offend
Microsoft, I'm
SoundCloud,
sorry.
are we?
But anyway,
SoundCloud is lovely.
so we've established that the weather, well, then now is
The weather
actually
app.
better now.
Yeah,
because
it's
they've got
improved.
two people now. Where were they again? One was in
One was in Slough.
Slough, and the
other
other
was in Perth.
Perth. Right. So anyway, I see. Ever since like the last election we had in the UK, I've now become a lot more just interested and keep up to date with the news.
Yeah.
And naturally I now use the Windows or Microsoft News app. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, it was fine. My only flaw is, but I've been getting to the point where I'm actually getting kind of good, and I can read articles and just see these are trash, or that they're very politically biased, and also they deliberately they cut out information to try and to make you form an opinion to be biased or whatever.
In other words, you are fake news.
Yeah, fake basically.
That was the closest I could get to
Some
Trump.
of it's fake news, and so I'm just like, I'm not interested. But anyway.
Fake news is definitely going to be in the title of this podcast.
That's not my biggest gripe about the app. My biggest gripe is the fact that despite people not giving a shit about, a PPI things anymore, like they're all gone from TV as far as I know. Like it's been and gone.
No, they haven't.
Oh, they're still around.
They're still on Dave, at the very least.
Still on Dave. Well, anyway, it turns out that they now are...
I mean, you have to question how much payment protection insurance was missold.
Exactly. I mean,
It's like I reckon the people who weren't born when this scandal came out would probably be
I'm
missold
sure
it at this stage.
by now people must realise that people that are bothered to try and see...
They all would have done it. Sure.
They would have done it by now.
Well, if anything, then that makes sense why they'd increase advertising to try and spread the word out more.
I guess...
When in reality, nobody's going to do
Exactly.
it.
It's kind of... I don't know. But anyway, my biggest gripe is now that they've spread onto... They're now on the news app.
Yes.
And
that's bad. Straight away.
And the problem is... My biggest gripe is the fact that normally with the news, like the news things, they have like a picture of the kind of a picture from
something relevant.
Something relevant. But with this, they just have really poor quality pictures of people
in the kind of... I don't know if you've gone through Google Images and just try and find the most cliche pictures you can.
Yes.
But pretty much, there's like how you had a BBC radio voice, you've got a internet smile.
You have it,
and it's all kind of really cheesy and...
apologies about that. Again, the problem of living at home with your parents has come into effect again.
It's bizarre. It's because I don't know if you may have noticed when we first did the cut in the last episode, it was just about 40 minutes. And if I had this right, it was about 40 minutes through the podcast again.
Do you think we should need to update the recording sign outside on the door?
I think how are we going to do that? Frame it?
Frame it, maybe make it...
Well, the thing is, if you frame it, how are we going to get the dart through it?
That's a good point. Or maybe I'll just stick more to the door, because I'll play it up. Anyway.
Cover the door in recording
Exactly.
signs.
Right. So anyway...
you were talking about... I was talking about how you get a BBC radio voice and internet's smile.
The internet classic spa. Now the problem is...
It's often low quality, didn't you say?
Now, it's very... Like these pictures look like they're taken on like a really old... I guess like the early smartphone cameras that weren't that great. Good. And the problem is, like, sometimes...
When it was the first novelty of putting a camera on a phone...
And some of them really do look like they were mug shots. Like, they were just taken sneakily by people and they weren't necessarily, like, being paid to take this picture.
Yes.
And they not... Sometimes they just even look at the camera. They look and they're just basically a person who has the internet smile and they're, like, pointing at this really just fake form about PPI.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, and they have no...
Money.
Now, and it's very annoying.
Oh, Tim, I know where you're going with this.
Yes.
Because the reason this is come into the running order is because you found this before we started recording. Not this bit, but the bit before.
Yes.
You were looking for your news app. What was the picture you found this time?
Okay, well, just every so often there'll be something. I don't know. It may be like an error on the system. Like, and maybe because I think it's probably an automated advert.
Yeah.
And like they just have like, insert picture here. Like they probably have like a picture of. Like a bunch of pictures, they randomise it, and like,
might even just be randomly off Google Images.
It might be. I don't know.
Which is a lottery.
And so, and sometimes you get like really random ones where it's just like, it looks more like more like something for like home insurance, like early for young
or life insurance,
or life insurance, or sometimes it'd be like a random sunset or something. This time, it was a gorilla. The picture
Harambe lives.
It said like, have you been missold PPI ?
And then there was
it just has
a gorilla with like they don't really have eyebrows, but kind of like
a slight kind of interested smile. Now I don't know. Is this saying that the people who are after these things are idiots and like gorillas?
I doubt you're going to get monkeys going into your building society.
Because the problem is like maybe it's meant to be clickbait or whatever, but sure the
people aren't going.
You aren't just going to click a picture of a monkey when it says PPI in the bottom, is it?
We're just going to click on the picture of just a monkey anyway.
I mean, I'm trying to think of a joke here, like a name of a type of monkey, like a species of monkey that begins with P.
P.
Yeah.
So it's like something like payment, whatever monkey begins with P.
like species monkey protection insurance.
Baboon protection. No,
that's with the B. Anyway,
that's a B, but
we won't force anything. But there we go. And it was just the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. I'm kind of slightly getting annoyed of the news app because like some of the news articles are just crap.
So Bill, Bill, we know you're listening. Step your game up,
or at least if you're going to get, I assume maybe it's like sponsors or whatever. Like, try and get sponsors that are not just random. Try and make it like I don't know. People that read news, but I don't know, like maybe have like adverts that are sponsored by other news apps. I guess.
Well, I think the other news apps will drive people away from that news app.
I don't know, but I guess that's my thinking. I mean, I'm not an expert. Maybe I don't know, but there we go. That's my point. That was my mini attempt to be interesting because obviously you want to give it to your son. So I guess now what do we move on to next?
Now the next segment. This is what we like to call almost satire.
Yes.
So what we do is we take something that we found that's been high in the news, and instead of talking about a debate about about something that's interesting about what could be done, we try and warp it to our heart's content. You could say.
I don't want to screw up your own thing, but what I was talking about there was a news thing.
Well, yes, but I mean.
And what you were talking about before
was also on the news.
Yes.
Both of my things were on the news.
Yes.
But I mean, when they weren't at the front page, were they?
Granted.
Now, I'm going to start again because I'm telling you so.
Okay.
I don't know if you may have seen. Actually, no, you probably didn't. Actually, mainly because you don't care about this sort of thing, and mainly because you haven't been on your phone recently. But a football player moved clubs. In fact, I teased it in the last episode, I believe, at some point.
Yes. I don't
And
remember who it was.
The man's name is Neymar.
Neymar. I remember it being a lot of money.
Yes, the overall move ended up costing the club in question £200 million.
Is that the most expensive? Or...
By a long way.
Go on.
The previous record was, I think, 89 million, which is still a lot of money.
But it's over double.
Yes, because basically what happened is when teams buy players that they find very valuable, sometimes they want something called a buyout clause, where if somebody pays a certain amount of money, they are free to talk to the player and organise a move.
Mm-hmm.
So what clubs often do is to try and shoo people away.
Yeah.
Is put ridiculous fees on there.
Right.
Unfortunately, the club in question, Barcelona, their fee wasn't ridiculous enough. Now, in the news recently, you see all that sort of thing, and basically every news outlet in the world is going, "Hey, look, this is what you could buy with £200 billion, original content."
Yes.
But what I'm going to do is ask you this:
Go on.
if for some reason you felt willing to pay £200 million for somebody's service, what would that person be able to do for you?
I would expect them pretty much to do everything.
Everything.
Now, what I mean by that, to quickly give it better to, I would expect them basically to be me, just to replace me, right?
Right.
As a human being,
So
replace
like almost
me,
like a perfect clone.
but they're just better at everything.
Oh, okay.
So like they're smarter,
they're smarter. They're
more athletically fit. Obviously, if it's a footballer,
yeah, well, it doesn't have to be a footballer. It can be anyone.
and basically, their profits that they get from like being better, they probably get a higher rate job and whatever.
Which you could just sneak yourself into.
Well, I wouldn't need to be there if they're just a better version of me.
And then all the pay goes to you.
All the pay will go to me. That's what I'd want to do. With
That is a very good answer.
Oh yeah,
Mine isn't as comprehensive as yours.
Go on.
What I didn't think of basically having a clone which is better at everything than I am, which I'll be honest, I probably need at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
But the bloke or woman who I would pay for at this stage would be somewhere between convenient and omnipotent.
Okay, I don't know what that second word means.
Omnipotent is, if you had an omnipotent being, it'd be like a god.
Right, so basically you expect this person to be a demigod, are you saying?
Almost. But I wouldn't use it for like bad things because I'm a responsible man. I would just use him or her or it, I suppose, to just get rid of things that annoy me in everyday life.
Okay.
Like, they'd stop children crying on public transport.
All right.
Whether that be by just making them somehow happy or just chucking them off the bus. Either or.
I mean, you could go for a slightly less aggressive approach and just give them like a pacifier.
Get rid of people in queues.
Okay.
Or find a way for me to get
Put
through
yourself at the front of the queue.
Yes. He'd also be able to find enough money so I can get £200 billion back.
Okay.
Which I didn't think of.
Well, Frank, just say, if this person is a god or a demigod, I'm pretty sure by that point you have no need of the concept of money. If you own a god, you will have no need to pay for anything.
Well, so he could just magic up some.
By the sounds of it, yes. But let's tell you what, that's a bit, I guess, overpowered. Let's just go for demigod who's just...
Yeah, so he would be able to... Ooh, what else annoys me in everyday life?
Me?
No, because then I wouldn't have anybody to do a podcast with.
Oh, good point.
So he'd be able to make every single person on the internet forgive me.
Oh wow! Oh my
said.
god! You would settle the arguments that happen in the comments of every.
Not even arguments that I'm involved in, just stupid arguments about nothing.
This sounds like you sound like a.
It's like the other day I found a comedy song called "I'm Glad John Lennon Died," and obviously it's not meant to be taken seriously. But there are people in those comment section going, "Oh, I love John Lennon. Fuck you, mate. Die in a hole."
Yeah, right.
I was like, I'll just get him to just shut them up or kill them, depending on which is easiest.
The thing is John Lennon dead?
is John Lennon. Of course he bloody is.
Wait, which one's he?
Oh, for fuck's... He was the one who was assassinated
Oh.
in the Beatles, you mom.
No, okay, no.
He had the airport named after him.
Sorry, of course, yeah, I know. Sorry, I knew that. I knew
Popular
that.
culture isn't your strong point,
No,
is
no,
it?
no, I knew that. Sorry, I got mixed up between... I always do, my... I get mixed up between John Lennon and Nelson John.
John.
I'm sorry, I just get mixed up between the two all the time. Just not by like the people and the way they sing.
I mean,
just
they've got
the
similar
names.
glasses, I suppose.
Just the name. It's not nothing to do with like the character, the people they are, or the music they.
Just the name.
Just the name. I get them mixed up all
You
the
get
time.
Lennon and Elton mixed up.
But they both have John in them.
And they both have John in them. They're different points in the name, but yeah.
Anyway, yeah, okay. So
I mean,
know,
in fairness, I used to get Jack Nicholson and Jack D mixed up.
well,
So
they're completely
they look relatively simple. Well, in my mind, they did.
right. So apparently, you know the difference.
Even if it is the Jack D that I'm actually thinking of.
All right. So
So
you basically would have them
they would basically be able to. They would
quell.
I'd win every argument. I would get the best of everything, and I'd be able to get all the money back that I paid for it.
It pretty much just sounds like. It sounds almost similar like to what I'm saying. I'm saying just somebody to replace me. This sounds like somebody to stand alongside you. Like when you're
Yes.
travelling on the train, they'll be next to you.
Yeah,
and if there's a baby, they'll just smother them with their. And they
Smother them.
They smother them.
Let's get a pillow. Magic
Yes,
pillow.
exactly.
Like, go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Or like if like they'll just push people out of the way in the queue.
Just make sure all buses arrive on time. Well, all public transport arrives on time. Whether that means magicking up a train or plane.
Or crew to.
Or maybe he could teleport.
No, that
So I
sounds
wouldn't
too
even-
overpowered.
Nah, yeah, it does.
All right, but then, so basically, I mean, I'm just thinking like maybe for you, like just a 10-foot tall person that basically just
You're going to be 10 foot tall. You're barely going to fit on trains at 10 foot tall.
I don't know, but just sits like along.
If anything, I'd prefer to him be like the size of like the devil on your shoulder.
So
So then you could just boom, yeah, that's gone. Because then it wouldn't be noticeable.
Tell you what,
Because people would notice, and then people would try and steal him.
just I feel like you've been very kind with this segue and like best way of doing it because of course football's not my forte.
No.
Whether being playing it or indeed watching it, I just
Yes.
don't really just.
You just don't like it.
I mean, but if somebody told me when I hear if somebody spent £200 million pounds and somebody can kick a bunch of a leather ball around,
Who can move their feet around the ball quite successfully.
I'm thinking, my God, this must sound like the most corrupt thing on the planet.
When you consider that, I believe. I mean, I realise I made a kind of dig at what you could do, what you could buy with £200 million.
Yes.
You could buy islands for that. Like, I think it's 4 private islands in the Bahamas.
Well, there we go.
Which,
then.
first of all, I'm actually surprised they're so cheap because they'd be 50 million a pop. If you think about it.
I mean, it's honestly it's astonishing.
Yes,
But
it's like it's more than the GDP of a lot of countries.
all right. Well, then I guess. Well, that's a brilliant idea. I mean, I feel like
I mean, God knows how we get hold of this sort of money anyway.
I feel
but-
like I can't think of. I don't have anything that good for almost satire.
Oh, so you're not quite as prepared as you seemed.
No, it's just that.
Is there anything in your notes? Can I have a look at your? Actually, no, I'm not having a look at your notes because you've got
No,
you've got the next.
I
segment
have the
bit.
next bit. I mean, I guess I don't want to talk about taxi prices because that would just come as a
That's
segue,
not in your
like,
notes. But
what would you spend What would you rather spend £25 on?
Did you use it in the same context? Instead of somebody who makes everything is inconvenient, he just moves it away, just pushes it away
Just
from me.
£25 basically just has the balls to go. Excuse me, child. Do you mind shutting up? Or excuse me, do you mind letting my friend come through?
Let's just buy a gun.
He has no power whatsoever.
No, Tim, just buy a gun. Can I stop babies crying? Get people out of the way in the queue. Don't even know if you could buy a gun for £25, but you
Call
know,
the riots on YouTube. I don't know, just an internet
just shoot
gun.
your screen.
I don't know, like the gun emoji. But yeah, I can't think of anything better for almost satire. I'm sorry.
Is there anything? I believe you had an idea about the NHS.
I guess. Well, I guess
Your original idea was talking about the NHS, and
the state of the fact that I had to wait. I mean, this is, I guess,
in
not.
fairness, last time I sat here, we had to kind of craft something on the fly.
I mean,
So-
I guess. I mean, the NHS is always in the news. I guess. I mean, I don't know what's going on at the moment.
Yeah.
I can't. I can't.
I know that there's been a bit controversial with my doctor.
Yeah,
I was about to say my personal doctor. I'm
problem
not
is,
that rich though.
So I mean, this is my fault, I guess. So I went to recently I had to get a re-prescription for a skin condition. Don't worry, it's not like
He hasn't got like.
it was just.
I don't know.
I don't know. My arm not. I haven't got leprosy. It's not my arms are good. My
He's
body
not going
parts.
to die.
No, I just had eczema. Okay, and it was getting quite rubbish, and the problem I couldn't just buy the cream off the counter, at the pharmacy.
Yes,
I'd
so
have
you had to get a prescription.
And so I just thought, rather than waiting 2 weeks, which is a long time, just for some cream, just to get a
Maybe what you could have done is you could have spent £200 million on a man who can magic up some cream for you.
or just magic up a prescription. Or just get my own doctor.
Oh,
There
yeah,
we go.
magic up a doctor.
Pay for him. Anyway,
Just, in that case, just make your skin better.
well, there we go. Well, why would I? Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I thought 2 weeks because that was the waiting time to get my own, I guess
Yes.
a private. Yeah, what's the word? Appointment. There we go.
Appointment.
So I just thought I'll go for this the service they do on every week.
In the morning, I believe it.
In the mornings they have a walk-in thing, which sounds like a very good idea. You just walk in. So you think on your way to work or whatever, in the morning if you're up early, you think, oh okay, this has been bugging me. I can just quickly talk to the doctor for 10 minutes. Won't have to sign anything. Anyway, I walk. In the morning, I wake up. I arrive on the dot as they let people in. It turns out that I have.
There were a couple of people who beat two.
Yeah, there were four or five people in front of me, and they were taking about 10 minutes each.
That's not too bad.
No, that's a 40, 50-minute long wait. For a service like that, it's not too bad. If you just walk in, don't need to book an appointment or wait 2 weeks. So either 2 weeks down to 40 minutes. However, I was unaware that I'd have to put my name on a register or a queue. I figured that I was under the assumption that people would just be civilized and just go, this person was in front of me.
Yes.
I'll go after them. Simple as that. People won't try to push in. Well, it turns out 3 people go past.
Oh.
And I'm thinking, 30 minutes, it's quite a long time. I go, well, how long do you reckon it's going to take? And they said, well, where are you in the queue? On the list. I'm like, what list? I said, did you put your name on the list? I'm like,
There's a list.
there's a list. And she said, well, yes, we're not psychic here. You have to put your name on the list, right?
Now, you've told me this story before. First of all, surely the idea of a walk-in surgery is that you can just get into a queue and walk in and get your thing done.
Or as I said, sit in the seating area and just when the next one they say next and the next.
Just walk up and do that.
Yes.
And also, I don't know if it's sass or not, but the person saying, "Oh, we're not psychic." You don't need to know who you are. You could just come in there and say, "Oh, what's your name?" "Oh, my name is Tim." Well, hello, Tim. What's wrong with you?
Yes, I mean
That's not hard.
And I knew that and I just needed 2 minutes. I didn't need 10 minutes. I just needed 2 minutes with him to say, "Here's my eczema. I just
look at my skin.
Just look at my skin. It's literally peeling off as we talk, we're talking." And just
I can see the bone.
I can see that. I just need a re-prescription. Anyway, so they put my name on the list, and by which point, I think it came to 8 people in front of me, and if people were taking 10 minutes, that's nearly a football game.
Yeah. Hey, there's a link. I bet it didn't cost £200 million though.
No, I didn't. Nor did it cost as much as just a ticket to see a football match. So,
No.
Anyway,
tickets are too much.
and I just realised, forget it. And so in the end, I just wait 2 weeks until my appointment. At which point, by the way,
at which point your skin is just. It's like all of your skin is rolled up and it's on your elbow.
Pretty much. Just say for those. This is an audio orientated. Fortunately, we can't give you any visual descriptions.
No.
But anyway, after the 2 weeks, my skin obviously was even worse condition. Got this, and it took 2 minutes, and they said, "Yeah, you need a prescription," and I was like, "Yeah, obviously."
Yeah.
Anyway, in the end, just an update. My skin is now fine. It's better. And yeah, but that's my biggest gripe at the moment with the NHS.
I mean, actually, I've thought of an idea for almost Saturday. What you could say is NHS surgeries are always quite clogged up.
Yes.
So I suppose how would you make it quicker for patients to go through? Because I've got an idea.
I'd pay £200 million for a person to unplug everybody from the life support machines and let me sit in the seat.
No, I've got an idea. 1 in every 10 GPs is a tiger.
Right. Or it's death.
Or,
And he's just, can I quickly look at you? And kills you.
it's one of those things. It's like, oh, can we just have a look in your ear? And instead of getting a tortoise-headed gun.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Right. The only problem is though, you just say, "Can I have a quick look at your arm?" Yep. I'm just going to cut that off now. What?
Yeah, I was going to say, just get rid of any body parts you don't need.
So let me have a quick look at your skin. Just get.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. We're going to have to take your kidney out. Why? We
Why?
don't need both of them.
All right.
Actually, you got a spare leg going now. I don't know if you're going to need that.
Or at least maybe this may like sound, I guess, almost like a too much of a good idea and a too much of an intelligent idea. I guess.
Maybe what you could do
Yeah.
is you could put places where you do eye operations.
Yeah.
Put on the wrong side of busy roads.
Okay. So they have to walk across the road.
Yes, and they
And
can't
they can't
see.
see the traffic.
Well, actually, it might be better if you like deafness. Or no, they can see. Damn it, this plan isn't working.
All right. Well, this
Just
sounds
put the cars in the hospital. it's like reception and
So well, the NHS helps solves 90% of problems. Alternative cures for 10% of them.
oh no, actually no, I've had well, quite apart from the fact there's a motorbike who's just gone through.
Yeah.
I've had an idea.
Go on.
You have certain waiting rooms, and again, it's a lottery, and you say you have 3 waiting rooms. One
Yeah.
waiting room is just a really big trap door.
Just a trap door.
Yeah, so it's just like, oh yes, next appointment, pull a lever, all full.
Oh wow. Okay.
Preferably to the centre of the earth, so you don't have to deal with any of the bodies.
Well, as much as it sounds like a good idea and would be convenient and would increase the rate of patient
Well,
everything by
it
10,
increased the rate of fatalities, I imagine.
it would have an increase in fatalities, probably at least tenfold, I reckon. At least it would be 10% quicker. Doesn't sound
Yeah.
worth it, does it? To be honest.
I mean,
Let's say 10%.
okay, in that case,
10% from 80
2 in
minutes.
every 10 GPs is a tiger.
Well, I just think if I have to wait 80 minutes, that'll cut it down to 72 minutes.
65.
72 minutes, isn't that like 10% of?
Oh yeah, it probably is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
70. Yeah,
I just said a random number.
We'd cut it down to 72 minutes. Still pretty long.
Yeah. Well, if it's 2 in every 10, it'd be.
1 and over
Actually, the
5.
thing is, though, if it surely the walk-in service there's only 1 GP there, isn't there? For that logic.
Right.
So then, would it be 1 in 1 GP's tiger?
All right, so you're just pretty much wiping out an entire town.
I do quite like the idea of a tiger with like a name badge
Or
and a stethoscope.
for his mane. Oh no, that's lying. Sorry.
As a you could have lions, I suppose.
Why not?
It's like how you can get some people complain about other nationalities doctors. They say, "Look, I wanted to be treated by a tiger, but then some lion comes in. Like, what?
I'm not.
What next? Leopards as the police? Actually, no, surely cheetahs would be better as the police because they're pretty fast.
Pretty fast.
You can have a hot pursuit situation with any car.
The only problem is that
I mean, this is amazing. Just have
the only problem
big
is that
cats.
would increase fatalities of chases.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Anyway,
Also, can you run down the cheetah with your car?
well, chases are pretty quick.
Oh yes.
The only problem is it would probably increase the fatalities of police force as well.
I reckon. Actually, on that note, I reckon you could put ocelots on public transport.
Okay, well, they're going to achieve.
Well, I believe ocelots give off an awful smell, so therefore less people would use it, and therefore it's less busy.
I admire that thought, but the only problem is trains already smell pretty rubbish as it is.
That is
In
a fair
fact,
point.
when we were sitting down, when we were going back to the beginning, when we were coming back on the
back
train,
from Pride.
this train obviously had only been operating, assuming it'd been cleaned for like the last 4 hours. Already there was sick on the seat
I mean,
that had been very crudely wiped off.
maybe that wasn't it. Maybe the driver was an ocelot. Actually, no. Starting with the driver being the ocelot, have the conductor be an ocelot? You're not going to try and dodge your fare if you're going to get your face ripped off.
Oh God!
What could you do with honey badgers?
Or at least you wouldn't want to buy a ticket.
I know they're honey badgers. Put them in the sexual health clinics because they rip off your bits. That'll solve the problem.
Okay, again, sorry for those who have an STD. I'm very sorry.
Are you going back to apologising?
Yes, I feel like we've already offended him. Anyway,
I'm over apologising.
I feel like we should move on to the next segment.
Our final
Our
segment.
final segment. Granted, I think this might be actually probably equally as long as the last episode.
No, I don't think it is because that had two. That was
That's
around
3 parts.
well, 3 different cuts, but that's because you hadn't prepared.
Yes.
So I think we're over the hour at this stage.
Okay,
So
let's go.
it's actually going to it might be tight.
We'll see if we'll see it as a short
Right, so
episode.
this our final segment, just a little fun we like to do,
Yes.
called Bottom of the Alternatives.
Do you want to explain what that is
Well,
again?
Bottom of the Alternatives, it is a pun on Top of the Pops because what we do is we take some lines from a song, could be
Yeah.
chorus, could be anything,
Yeah.
and we make all the words the opposite, and the other person from hearing the opposite words has to guess what the song is.
Okay.
Simple premise, can work quite well. Now, Tim,
I'm not very
which one
good
of us
at
should go
this.
first?
I think you should go first. But before you begin, I just want to say, last time, I'm not very good with doing it on the fly, and I have to write it down because I don't know if I'm dyslexic. I don't know. I might be, but I have to write it down, not very well. But I can't remember the words right, and I'll fumble it. But anyway, I've written it down. This
so
time I'm a lot more
you
prepared.
prepared.
I'm prepared. I've written mine down, and I've only written down the alternative words because I'm trying to remember.
But don't forget what the original words are.
I remember the name of the song. But anyway, you'll go first.
Right, okay, I'll go first. So, my bottom of the alternative is
Yes.
you'd hate to destroy myself questioning.
Wait, you'd hate to destroy myself questioning.
That deep space is straight quickly. It's soft to do that you'd not want to sleep when I'm awake. Because nothing isn't always differs from expectation.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's
That's it. Right, we're going to have to break this down
Okay,
here.
so-
I'm probably going to, and again, having to write. I don't know if it's cheating. Would you say it's classy cheating?
No, it's not really cheating.
I won't write it down. Okay, let's
Okay, so
start
the
with
first line.
Yeah.
You'd hate to destroy myself questioning.
I'd love to. Wow. I hate to.
Actually, I probably shouldn't have said hate, but, you know.
I like.
Okay.
I guess we'll break it up. I like.
Remember, no, is you'd hate to destroy myself questioning.
What's the opposite of destroy? Create?
Another word for create.
Form?
No.
Put together?
It's quite simple.
Opposite word destroy? Fix?
No.
This is quite.
I've just realised I've messed up on the first line.
Oh, he's already
It's-
mixed up.
It's wait. It's not destroy myself questioning. It's destroy yourself questioning.
So it is myself then.
So the actual word is myself.
So, alright, I'm
just
going
told you
to
one
resource
word.
writing. Okay, so tell me the first verse again.
Okay.
Sorry.
You'd hate to destroy
This is-
yourself questioning. It's
I'd
hate
like.
to. That's not an opposite
Yeah,
word.
to
Destroy
fix. I'm gonna go. I know you said it's wrong, but I want to guess fix
yourself
myself
questioning.
knowing.
Okay. Then second verse, the deep space. Some of these are quite tricky to opposite, so I've deliberately.
I know what it is. I like to. I know what it is.
Oh.
Right now, I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna keep.
Okay, keep on going.
Yeah.
So the deep space is straight quickly.
That down to earth. I'm gonna go with earth. Like I say, that
Deep space is straight quickly.
is straight. Is
Isn't opposite, by the way.
that straight? I guess curved.
Okay.
Curves. Right. Okay.
And then
Is curved
quickly.
slowly.
I feel like you might get it on the third line.
Okay, go on then.
It's soft to do.
Hard
That you'd
to do.
to do.
Opposite to do. Could that even have? I'm going to say do. I'm going to keep that as do because I can't think maybe that's not.
That is opposite.
Do not.
No, it's quite a bit more of an abstract concept.
It's hard. It's hard to don't.
I'll give you a clue on that one.
Yeah, let's go on then.
If instead of doing something,
Yeah. Yes. You don't do
you
it.
know, instead of doing something, you could
Not do it.
no. I'm trying to say and work this out without giving away the word. You could
Maybe don't. Maybe don't give it to me. Don't. Right, let's just go. It's hard to don't.
okay. That you'd not want to sleep when I'm awake.
That I would. Right, say that bit again. Sorry.
So you'd not want to sleep when I'm awake.
I would rather. No.
Yeah, it's close.
It's hard to don't.
Wait, what was the word?
It's
Wait, what was the word you said?
rather.
Actually, that is the word.
Oh,
yes.
he's rather.
Sorry, I
Okay.
got confused.
So let's go. Let's break it down. Okay, so let's go through this line again. So let's start from that line again. It's hard to don't that I would rather than what carry on from that.
To sleep when I'm awake,
Sounds like just flip it around then.
I suppose.
Rather awake than I'm asleep. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know this song.
Okay.
Yeah, go on then.
Because nothing isn't always differs from expectation.
Because nothing, what?
Because nothing
Everything
isn't
is
always
never
differs from expectation.
expected.
You're going to have to think a little bit outside the box there for other words to do with that, other phrases, rather.
Because nothing is always. What is it? Sorry, what's
The word is because nothing isn't always differs from expectation.
Fuck knows. I have no idea.
Do you have any idea?
I mean, I know the song, but I'm trying to understand how you get to that lyric.
Well, if you know the song, you might as well tell me what the song is.
Well, I think is it Owl City Fireflies?
Yes, it is.
I like to make myself know. This is the actual lyrics.
So the actual lyrics is I'd like to make myself believe, which I went to you'd hate to destroy myself questioning.
Yes.
Then the deep space is straight quickly is that planet Earth turns slowly. Turns is tricky.
Yeah.
Turns is tricky.
Yes.
And then it's soft to do that you'd not want to sleep when I'm awake.
You see, that sounds like raping and sex.
It kind of does, actually. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep.
All right, well, this is the version that I got. All right. Obviously, I did quit, so at the end, I'm just going to put fuck knows. Right.
And then the last lyric I
Yes.
put because nothing isn't always differs from expectation.
I mean, what
is because everything is never as it seems.
seems right. So my version was, I like to fix myself know that Earth is curved slowly. It's hard to don't that I would rather wake than I am asleep because everything is never fuck knows.
With the don't thing to do,
Yes.
I think I used it as a thing where it was like you can either to say or to do. So that's yeah.
That just say.
By the way,
yeah, that was very good.
You know, Fireflies has become a bit of a meme.
Why? It's a good song though.
It is a good song. It's mainly the bleepy bloopy bit at the beginning,
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
which is the technical term.
Well, they just bass boost it.
Pretty much.
Well, that's all they always
But
bass.
the thing is that what I'm going to do is I'm going to link this into a story. Because, do you know how I found out this was a meme?
Go on.
Because I didn't know it was a meme.
You looked on the internet.
Well,
for too long?
obviously I did look into it. It wasn't the internet. But
Go on.
I had seen that there's a cover artist on YouTube that I really like
Yes.
who released a cover of Fireflies.
Okay.
Quite recently, in fact. And I was like, oh, I really like that song. I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
And then it goes to the last lyric. I almost feel like I should sing it myself and try and add to the reconstruction.
So they changed the lyrics.
Yes, because what it goes is it goes, I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep. The notable lyric is because my dreams are bursting at the seams.
Yes.
He changed it to because my memes are bursting at the seams.
Right, of course. That's
And I had this generally like a realization moment because I was like, oh god, the title is like Owl City Fireflies, but it's a cover like the one we are number one.
Yes.
Memes. Ah,
it is a meme.
what is my life?
So anyway, I guess do you want to hear my song?
Yes, please.
I have to say.
I'm going to actually take on your thing and I'm going to write it down.
Okay. Now.
Well, when I say write it down, I'm going to type it in my phone.
It's quite now.
Is that
with
a start?
I think it has the not issue. It has the thing where like a word become, you can't really like, there isn't like an alternative just standalone word. It kind of becomes like a sentence.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, so this is the this is my.
You really enjoyed this segment, don't you?
I'm bad at it. I'm bad at deciphering, but I like writing. Okay. Oh, I'm bad at that as well. Anyway.
Okay.
When you stand up somewhere over there.
So, wait.
It's quite a short one.
So when you stand up somewhere over there.
Yep. When you also stand up somewhere over there. Could I stand without you, or always? Hang on. Could I stand without you, or also remember nothing?
I know what that is immediately.
What is it?
That's I forget the name of the song. If I Lie Here by Snow
Bollocks! How did you know?
Because
how did you know?
It was the repeat of the line. It was if I also stand over there. I was like, hold on, that can only be one of two things.
Sorry, that probably came out again quite loud on the display. Would you stand somewhere over there?
So if I lay here.
Would you also stand up somewhere over there?
Would you lie with me and just forget the world?
Could I stand without you, or also remember nothing?
Yes.
Now, when I reading this, I thought this just sounds like a really bad, like terms of a relation. Like the relationships are not on good terms. It's basically
stand over here.
Would you stand somewhere over there?
It's like a really weird argument.
If you stand somewhere over there, could I stand over there?
Also over there.
Could I stand with all? Well,
and remember everything.
Or remember
nothing.
Could I stand without you? Right.
Without you.
Or also just remember nothing of this relationship. How did you know?
I just got it. I mean,
the last one.
Given how long it took for me to get Fix You last episode, I'm quite proud of that.
I mean, last time, I don't want to repeat last time, but yeah, Fix You.
Fix You.
Part of me wants to read it again, though.
Read it up forwards.
I mean, part of me wants to read it again. Can I read it again?
Yeah, I didn't. Best thing is, I didn't even need to write.
I mean, the last one, obviously, on the first episode, I did. Was it "Fix You" by Coldplay?
Yes. And I did. I Can't Decide by the Sisters.
Yes. If I give up my worst and do fail,
I don't have the words in here, so.
If I take what I need and what I want. If I paralyze so awake and I can wake up, freed out forward.
I think the best creation of this game is making the opposite of feel paralysed.
Well, I think too.
And on that note,
I think this episode you are the winner.
Thank you.
I'll say you are the winner of that game.
On that pneumonia-ridden bombshell.
Yes. It's time to end.
It's time to end the podcast. You have been Timothy Broad.
Thank you.
I have been Shaun Howe, and now it's time for the awkward outro bit. We have no idea what to say. So, go and subscribe to us on whatever it is you happen to be listening on, whether it be SoundCloud or YouTube, or whether it be iTunes or Stitcher, which means you're in the future. I mean, technically, given when this is going to come out, everybody's going to be in the future.
Everybody's in the future.
But anyway, go and subscribe to us on that. Hopefully leave a review or a comment, depending on.
And Bill Gates, you know what you need to do next.
Bill Gates, do that. And also, can you give me a computer, please? I really want one. So, also, capitalism.
Corbyn.
and yes, this is getting awkward.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.